What up, everybody? You're now tuned into Candid Conversations. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream. I got my buddy here, long time coming. Hey, last show we did was to protect black women, but yeah,
Yeah, man, that was the episode.
that was the episode, man. If you have not checked out that episode, just go back and look on my YouTube, on my Facebook, and look at the show we did called "Protect Black Women." It was a very good show. We had about 4 people on the panel. It was pretty good, man. But today, man, I got my buddy back, so I say, man, we gotta do a show, man. We gotta chop it up. Hey, this is Brian Boyd. Introduce yourself to the people who don't know.
What's good, y'all? My name is Brian. Just a local person in Jacksonville, Florida. Do a number of things. Author, speaker, stuff like that. So it's good to be here, man. Good to be chilling with my boy Brandon.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, man. So, man, y'all see the title, man. So, why be good when toxicity brings better results?
Right.
And when we talk about this, you could talk about it in a couple of different ways, but one of the main ways we'll talk about it, is what people are most interested in. That's men and women. That's where the clicks come from. So we talk about relationships. And as a young man today, and just me in general. So this is the objective today, Brian. So you are a man of faith. You're going into ministry. You're striving to be the things that I would hope to be one day as a young man. So what I need you to do for me, though, I need you to talk me off the ledge. And this ledge that I'm on, this line that I'm about to step over is that I see it. I see the results, man. I see the results. Guys who are genuinely nice guys who want to do right, guys who want to build, they're like, I don't know about this or not. It's not toxic enough. It's not until they get older and those options start to dry up, then they say, oh, you're Mr. Good Enough, you'll do. And as a man, you got to value yourself more than that to be to be that second, third, fourth, fifth option. You want to be a first round pick. You don't want to be third, fourth, fifth round or undrafted. That's not what you want to be. You want to be first round pick. You deserve that for yourself. But I do see that the toxicity is bringing better results. It's like Future. It's like Future, man.
Really?
It's like I can hear the streets calling. I hear it, man. I hear it because for especially young men. Let's take it to young men. Young men who want women. They want to pursue women. They want to go after women. They want the lifestyles that they see guys with the money, the looks, the status, game, whatever those guys have, and how they're able to get women. And when they see how a lot of these guys get women, like a lot of guys look at Future and they'll look at the Pookies and the Ray Rays and, the supposed bad boys, whatever, and the scammers. I mean, you got a whole video where they ask the girls, do you want a 9-to-5er, a scammer, or a drug dealer? And if you have hope in this community, I suggest you don't watch the video because all your hope gonna go out the window when you see what those girls' answers were. You can just imagine what the answers were. But they were young girls. But like I said, if I want to deal with those young girls, if I'm a young man, then if toxicity is what they want, why should I go the path that I'm going, being a nice guy, when toxicity is bringing better results? These chicks getting the girls, man. So I want to know. You got to talk me off the ledge, B-boy, because I'm about to be there. I got my future album already ready. I purchased some lean. I got some lean in my cup, and make me some dirty Sprite.
Yeah,
and I'm ready to go. I'm about to grow some blonde dreads, and I'm ready to go, dog.
Man, not the blonde dread. Look, man, the funny thing is, right, when you talked about this, I ain't gonna lie, it brought up some memories, man. It brought up when I was like 18, 19 years old, because I was one of them. And to some extent, still have that quote unquote like nice guy, man, out here wondering like, why is the world the way that it is, man? Like, why does it seem like when you look at relationships, and I mean, you can even look at it like both sides, right? It's like women are attracted to men that don't necessarily want the best for the women that they're dealing with. And then you see like the guys too, man.
Yeah.
And we had a private conversation talking about this, man. it's like we know what we need, but at the same time, we go after what we want. So
yes,
if you're in that situation, to be honest with you, like as I think about the question, right? I don't think personally that when you look at this, they're not necessarily drawn to toxicity per se. but they're drawn to the spark or whatever that toxicity can create.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just the things like it's like they always say, nobody wants what nobody else doesn't want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Of course.
there's something compelling about conflict. I can't,
Yeah.
like, there's no like the
Yeah.
best way,
Oh.
if I could whatever put the ministry hat to the side, right? You remember that Tupac song, I Get Around?
Oh yeah.
Where you said, baby, I ain't trying to sound sleazy, but tease me because I don't want it if it's that easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the best way to epitomize what I'm trying to say, man, is that it's not necessarily that people are attracted to toxicity per se, but it's just that people are attracted to genuine people, right? People that's
Mm-hmm.
going to speak their mind, people that's going to tell them what they want. So for instance, if I talk to you and I don't like something, I'm just going to tell you I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Oh
going
yeah.
to try to conform and confine myself to what you think you want or what you think you believe you need.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So man, I'm glad you broke it down like that because, and you're right. What it is that it's not necessarily toxicity, especially for on the man side of it. What it is being a masculine man. You know,
Yeah.
standing up for yourself,
100%.
not being a pushover. Some ladies describe it as a gentleman with an edge because you could be a good guy, but you know you ain't got to take no crap off nobody, and
Yeah,
you got to let them
close the
know at
doors
any
and
given
stuff.
moment. Yeah, at any
But
given
it's
moment, I'll
popping
turn this
off.
thing out. Yeah, at any given moment, I'll turn this thing out. So I think
Uh-huh.
that's what young men got to wrap their mind around. It's not that you got to sag your pants and be Pookie and Ray Ray and Walmart Tavius, a little homicide, and lead those lives and want to scam and want a drug deal and live the fast life and things like that. You don't have to do those things. Shoot, even with pre-selection, pre-selection is a big one too when it comes to women. So being pre-selected is you having children, you having a girlfriend, you having a wife, or you have a presence where in person or online where you're always around women. So when
Mhm.
women see you with women or women have selected you before, they're more likely to choose on you because the prior woman has already vetted you.
Exactly. Nobody
Yeah,
wants what nobody don't want.
for sure, man, for
And
sure.
you just gotta, but the thing though too is that you just gotta, like, if you like a young guy trying to whatever, you just gotta get through them trenches, man. That's really like, if you can make it out,
Yeah,
you do the stuff that you're supposed to do. You either go get your education, you go into business, you start getting in the gym, lift the weights, like looking good, and then you start like dressing the part, man. It's like the rest of it kind of takes care of itself.
yeah, it does.
And then at that point, you just have to have the mindset to just be yourself, man. Like that's the thing that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, bro. Because I'm telling you, like, there was a point where I had all this stuff, like the looks and everything, but I didn't have the mindset. And when I didn't have the mindset, even though I had like a subset of women that was like interested in me, I couldn't keep them for very long because I didn't have the mindset. I
Mindset,
wasn't
man.
able to tell them like, this is how I really feel about this. Oh, do you like this? No. Do you want to go near?
Mm-hmm.
No. And just being honest with, who I am as a person, what I want out of life, not conforming how I feel about my life to appease the opinions or I guess say the personality of the people that I'm dealing with.
Oh yeah. So like one of the things you hear women complain about is say, "Oh, a guy's a narcissist," or "It's all about him. Is his way or no way." That's attractive. That's attractive to them. They'll complain about it. They'll say things about it. They'll talk to their girlfriends about it till the cows come home. But they like that. They like that because if she could get her way, if she
Yeah.
could manipulate
Mm-hmm.
you, she's going to feel
Yep.
like you're weak. She's going to feel like anybody can do that to you. Any woman
Mm-hmm.
who comes along who's attractive, who's as attractive as me or more, can do what I just did to you. So you're
Yep.
weak. You're
Yep.
weak. I can't trust you. I need you to be a masculine man, stand on your principles, and tell me what it is. Not, oh, where do you want to go? Oh, what do you want to do? Oh, well, what do you suggest? No, 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 baby, it's X, Y, and Z. Oh, well, I don't like that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be over here, and I'll be back at this time. You either going or you're not, because I'm leaving at 7 o'clock. I mean, it's really that simple, dog. And
Exactly.
most
Like,
most guys can't do that, Brian, because they're scared.
Yeah, man. But the thing is, it's like the thing that I've learned, just the world in general, women in particular, it's like honesty, man. And it's like for what it's like women, but women
Honestly.
have like this sixth sense though. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
got like you know what I'm talking about. Like you
Yeah.
can't explain it, but it's like if you're not telling the truth or you're not telling the whole truth, it's like they just know. They know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might as well just be honest with them. You know what I'm
Be
saying? Like, man,
honest.
you're not with talking with this as well. Like, you're not gonna get every woman to come by you. Like, that's just not happening. All right, let's
Yeah.
just be real. Some women they just genuinely go disagree with you. They not gonna like you. They don't want to be involved with you. But I mean, it's better for you to know that up front and to continue being yourself than it is for you to conform to this woman that you meet. Y'all get together and then like throughout the relationship or however serious it get, they start seeing the real you come out.
Yeah.
And that just destroys their whole vision of who they thought you were.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's another reason why if toxicity is not who you are, if you're not a Future, if you're not a Pookie and Ray Ray, if you are not those guys, don't try to become those
Man,
guys,
don't
man.
cap. Don't.
No. No.
Because you gonna always revert. I'm telling you, you go, man,
Always.
look, man, I had my phase. I tell you I had my phase years ago. But dude, it would not work, man. I tried to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Back before, like so before I got in the ministry, got saved, all this stuff. I tried
Yeah.
date multiple women. I had like weird stuff on different sides of town. I was kind of like out there, so to speak. But
Yeah.
you know what I learned through that though was like the whole time I was miserable, dude. Miserable.
Yeah.
Because that's
Miserable.
just not at the core of that. Like I knew that wasn't who I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Oh, for
losing
sure.
sleep and everything, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. So if it's not who you are, man, it's only you can only keep up that facade for so long, and that applies to anybody with
Mm-hmm.
anything, man. If it's not who you are, eventually you're going to revert back to what you know. You're going to go back to what's familiar. There's a reason we have a. That's why there's a reason athletes practice to build that muscle memory. So in crunch time, you ain't even got to think about it. The muscles just react because
Mm-hmm.
you've done it over and over and over again. It's a part of your being. It's a part of who you are. If you're not that guy, faking it till you make it. I understand that too. People can fake it till you make it, but if it's not who you are, man, it's not sustainable at all.
No. No, heck no, man. It ain't, it's no way possible. And I mean, you may be able to keep it up, at the beginning, 6 months, maybe. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like, because you're not even going to feel right with yourself, man. You just not. That's just
yeah,
like you playing, that's like you were saying, like you with muscle memory, right? That's like you playing sports. That's like you playing football or something like that, right? Learning how to sprint, learning how to do the stuff that you're supposed to do, or even shooting the basketball, right? You've been shooting a certain way for however many years, and now you trying to shoot differently. You trying to adjust your form, and all that stuff is gonna change. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You say, Mr. Albert says, "Are both of you Christians?" I grew up in a Christian church, so Christian by faith. But I don't really go to church like that anymore. I still believe in the Lord, still pray, still read my Bible and stuff. But as far as the church thing, it's very fluid right now. But as far as Christianity, it's something I was born into. What about you, Brian?
And me, I am, man. And the thing about it, even though I'm a spiritual person, even though I am a minister, I'm still grounded in reality. So I'm gonna give you
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
give
for
you
sure.
the spiritual answer, and I'm gonna give you
Hmm.
the real answer too.
That's it. That's it, man. That is it. That is it, man. So yeah, so man, young men, dude, if you're not like we were saying, if you're not about that life, then don't try to be. Your main thing is that yeah, you see certain guys, it looks like they're winning, of course. Only from the outside looking in, it's always going to look like they're winning. I mean, that's what anything is. It looks like they're winning, but really examine their lives. Like all of the guys who I knew growing up and the guys I know now who super successful women, like they can't walk out the door without picking up a woman. It's just what they are. They are those type of guys. Majority of their problems in life usually stem from women. I mean,
Yeah,
let's be honest about it.
and
We're gonna be completely honest and transparent about it. Majority of their issues that they have, it stems from women and their dealings with women. Now, a lot of it is their own fault for sure. It's their fault because of the decisions they made and who they chose to deal with. but majority of their problems were from the women that they dealt with. You know, regardless of if you're that dude or not, you can always build yourself into a man of value. That is your, I think that's your North Star. That's what you need to be looking towards. That's your what's the lighthouse, the lighthouse in the foggy bay. Yeah, that's your lighthouse in the foggy bay right there. That's your guidance right there, man. Because I think it's Minister Farrakhan, who I've heard him speak, and I think he's a great orator. I've heard a few things. Some things, you know, it's like with anybody. I agree with some stuff, don't agree with some stuff. But he said that pleasure doesn't come from women. Pleasure comes from conquering life as a man.
Exactly. Because, man, once you figure that stuff out, and that's the thing, man. I think just relationally, I think like men as a whole, we put too
Appreciate
much
that, Mr. Albert.
Man, absolutely, man. We put too much stuff into like women, though, to be real with you, like at that level, because it's like if you now it's one thing, like you know, once you're like established and everything, you gotta have your life together, then all of that stuff like comes, man. But I think even in your younger years, I think it's just a waste of time, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like get the way you want, because I'm telling you, like even at every stage of my life, right? Like even thinking back now, like as I was working, as I was going to school, as I was doing the stuff that I was supposed to do, I dated different women at every level, man.
Mm-hmm.
And as I could elevate, like the women like completely changed, man. I'm telling you, like it works out, it pays. And like you said, that goes into what you be saying all the time about options. You know, the better you get, the more options that you have. You're not limited to a specific subset of people or women or opportunities. It doesn't matter. As long as if you get to the place where you can decide what it is you want out of life, and you know what you say, like the cheat code or the answer to all of the problems that you have, life opens itself up to you.
Oh yeah. Building yourself into the best version of yourself. I talk about it all the time. All it does, it brings options, man. You get more options. You get freedom to do more things. The show I just did with Sean Taylor, really a couple minutes ago, we finished up and I talked about life resolutions. Everybody talk about New Year's resolutions. No, life resolutions, because the things I want to implement is things that I'm not going to focus on it for the next 12 months. I'm focusing on it for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
You know, this is the mindset, a mindset change and things you need, because regardless of what you want to do, how you want to do it, and what you want to try, if you're not ready to go up here, I mean, it's going to fall apart.
Yeah, 100%, man. You can it's like having your weight goal at the beginning of the year. Man, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. It's like you go January, that first week, like you in the gym every single day. Second week, you make it 5 days. Third week, you make it 2.
Hey, they say by mid-March, the gyms are empty again.
Man, that's probably why the gyms, like that's probably why they have it set up as contracts. You got to sign a year contract to guarantee, because they know, man, you gonna drop off. But
yeah,
that's just the way life is. Like you said, you gotta think out. You know, you can't just. It's good to be tunnel vision with some things, like immediate stuff, but the majority of your life and everything that you want to do, you should be thinking 20, 40, 60 years into the future.
Oh yeah. So let's take it outside of the realm of relationships and dealings with women and being toxic and the results that bring. Shoot, let's just talk about life in general. And I would say people who do things for clout, people who do things to gain popularity, people who say things, take certain stances just to be the contrarian. You know, them being toxic. You know, it's gotten them attention. Only problem is that when you get attention that way, it's empty.
Yeah,
it's empty. And whatever way you got said attention, especially if you got it in a toxic way, you're always going to have to beat whatever way that was. So whatever it was, you're going to always have to go up a notch. Shoot, like OnlyFans, the OnlyFans creators, the girls who do sex work on OnlyFans, what a lot of them figured out was, yeah, I can't just go spread eagle on OnlyFans and start making $10,000 a month. No, baby, you got to sell a dream. You know, you got to make me feel like I'm into it. You got to make me feel like me and you are actually together. You got to put in work. That's the thing. You got to put in the work. There's no way you're just going to be able to just show up and get the results that you want. You got to put in the work, and that's what everything. And that's what being toxic and chasing that clout is. You're going to continuously have to do more things to get more clout. Because after a while, people are like Boont Gang. You remember Boont Gang, the kid with all the tattoos on there? He kept. What did he have to do? He had to keep doing stupid pranks to stay relevant, and he had to escalate them until he got to a point where he changed his life. Man, he done got clean. I think he's doing. He's like, I know he was building houses at one point.
Really?
He's completely, yeah, man, dude, go look at him, man. He's completely changed his life. But people, the young boys, especially young men, need to see that, Brian.
That's true, man. The thing about it too is that the thing is too, I gotta be real. Like when you think about like it as a whole, it does get you somewhere, man. Being toxic for just a tad bit of time, it gets you like it's like it helps you at the very beginning, but like you said, eventually it comes back on you. Because now you're known for this stuff. And even when, like, I guess you say the best way to put it, like in our society, right? Because people claim in society that they like people that speak their mind 100%. Like, regardless of where they are, they want people to keep it real with them and be completely honest, like, regardless of however their feelings, right? But at the same time, the same society that promotes transparency and the raw, honest truth, it's the same society that condemns you when your truth don't match theirs.
Yeah.
And that's where that toxicity thing kind of ends at, man, because people like to joke at the beginning, but then once they realize it's not a joke anymore, then it loses the flavor, whatever that it had.
Yeah.
And now them same people that was praising you and helping you at the beginning are the same people that's bringing you down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's say Lisa Reed said they front for the gram. You're going to attract certain types. Gold diggers. Oh, and that's the other point right there. Thank you, Lisa Reed, for that one.
Oh my goodness.
You have to know that when you operate in that mode, you operate out of toxicity, you're going to attract a certain type of person. That's like let's take it to women. So women are, they're sexually liberated, they're free, they can do whatever, go wherever, work whatever job, do whatever. They're the freest they've ever been. And they still complain, but that's another show. One of the things that they do, they want to wear what they want to wear, but they don't realize that you're going to attract a certain type of man. What you wear, what your mindset is, what you want in a man, what you expect out of a man, depending on what it is, especially if it's toxic, you're going to attract a certain type of man. So let's say you talking, like I see women say, oh, they want to be married or whatever, but they still want to live their life, like Brittany Renner and the whole PJ Washington bull. So she said on DJ Vlad that she wants to be married, but he has to be able to accept her and all her flaws. Like, you got to accept whether she want to go out and she want to twerk on the table. You got to accept that. But see, the thing is that what kind of men are going to accept that, Brian? Just what kind of men?
Not the men that she probably won't. That's literally the law of attraction, though, man. Like you literally attract what you are, what it is that you present to people. Like there's this, and the reality of it is that realistically speaking, that's not the way it should be. People shouldn't be able to judge you on how you look or the way that you dress or the way that you present yourself because we're all human and stuff like that. And it sounds good, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's another one of those societal things that has like an underlying meaning, right? Because for instance, the way that I go out now, right? Because if I go out in public, right, people typically take me as a serious person because if I have a suit or something on. But if I go down that same place with regular clothes on, people will pay me no attention at all, man. And that's the same regardless of what the opportunity is, whether that's business, whether that's professional, whether that's in relationships. Because I've had women specifically that talk to me just because I had a suit on. I kid you not. But walk by them another time with regular clothes on, paid me no attention at all.
Oh yeah, that is real, man. That is real. Had a guy, he was telling a story on YouTube, and he talked about how he was a male dancer. He was a Chippendale. He was an exotic dancer, and he said they would they'd have a show, have a performance, and the women are just draped all over him, touching on him, grabbing on him, and trying to get at him, putting money in the G-strings and all of this. And he said they'll go out, like afterwards, they'll go out to like a bar a little ways away or a place where people are, And some of the ladies who were there while they were doing the strip show will be at the bars sometime. And they get to the bars and they're at the bars. The ladies act like those guys don't exist sometimes. You know, there's no more validation. There's no more touching. There's no more grabbing, nothing. Those are just regular guys now. And you're right.
Yeah, that's the reality of the world, man. Because it's like, I know, like I said, it sounds good, right? And it really does. People should be respected no matter what it is they have on, no matter the way they present themselves. But the reality of that is, at the same time, that's not the way the world works. You get what I'm saying? And so instead of like complaining about it and trying to whatever, just play the part you want to appear. So for instance, if I want to attract like high quality women and high quality opportunities, everything about me needs to say high quality.
Everything. Soon as you step out the door, your presence, and then this is the thing, Brian. You're going into ministry. You have to have a woman that represents you at all times. She has to know that she's representing Brian Boyd at all times. When she's on Instagram, when she's on Facebook, Twitter, out at Aldi's, whatever. She has to know that she's representing you. And you Brian Boyd, so you're representing yourself, you're representing your brand. So she has to know that. And as a man, you set the standard.
Exactly, but even like in ministry, like it's so much, man. I ain't gonna lie to you that you kind of have to uphold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if I'm on the line here with you, right? If I had a glass with like a red drink in it, people would assume that it's wine.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's those type of things that you got to keep up, because with you being like in whatever position that you are, people expect you to act a certain way. And even though we're not perfect by nature, people expect for us to like live up to whatever image or whatever they imagine us being. But the reality of it is that people fall all the time, man. And that's why taking it back to society for just a second. That's why when we see stuff like this, like politicians and celebrities and stuff, how they have like infidelity and like money laundering and stuff, like that stuff personally don't bother me, man, because I know they're human. You know what I mean? Yeah. They gonna make mistakes, but even with let's take it to Kurt Franklin real quick. He was like cussing his son out or whatever. You know how they blew up the internet, dude?
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Yeah, they did. That blew up the internet, and they made it. And I hated that so much because they made it seem like Kirk couldn't be human.
Exactly.
I was like, is Kirk a man? He's a man, right? I say so. Regardless of his title, regardless of what he has achieved in life, he's a man. So certain things he's going to react a certain way. I say it's easy to take a small excerpt of his life and judge him based off of just that. That's easy to do, man. But you got to ask the questions. I talked about it on the show I did. I think it was yesterday. Talked about Richard Williams. He just had a film done on him, King Richard, by his daughters, Venus and Serena Williams. And their older sister from his first marriage, she been blasting them, man. Absolutely blasting them.
Ridiculous.
The movie's a joke. You know, nobody they didn't chronicle his past life with his first family, and he left us and he went on to another life and this and that and the third. And people were talking about it, and I'm like, okay, everybody's going to say that, but is anybody going to ask the hard questions? You know what the hard question is, Brian? The hard question is, why did he leave? Nobody wants to ask that question. They just assume that he's no good and he left for a selfish reason. No, that man might have needed some peace, and peace wasn't being provided where he was at. I mean, we're talking about where some back in the day where that wasn't uncommon. We talk about it all the time where men used to move 11 miles away to start a whole new family
on the east side and the west.
Hey, that's when men were men. You could move 11 miles away.
Man, divorce was like shame in society, but you can have multiple families. That's like the craziest thing to me. But anyway,
yeah.
But even go back to the images, man. You know what I'm saying? The society and all.
Oh, yeah. You see, a woman is an extension of her man, whether he's with her or not. My mom always told me you got to choose what type of woman you will be. The one-night stand or someone's wife, govern yourself accordingly. Man, yeah. At least always drop the gems. But yeah, that's true. That's true. Regardless of where I am and what I'm doing in life, she's going to have to represent me. She's going to have to represent me a certain way, because there's certain images that I myself are not going to put out there. And when men say that, when men have standards, women, a lot of times they hear, oh, it sounds like bondage, or you're controlling, you're being manipulative. No, baby, you don't have to do any of these things. You can go be the beautiful butterfly that you are, spread your wings and fly away. Just go do it over there. You can't do it over here. Just go do it over there.
Because the reality of it is that everybody wants what they want. Like you can't force anybody to have something they don't. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with anything. If you're a person you don't like mint chocolate ice cream, and I give you mint chocolate ice cream, you may act like you want it, or you may
Yeah,
like lick it a couple times, but the reality of it is you go ultimately throw it away because you don't like mint chocolate ice cream.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
just goes both ways. You know, there are women that have a certain type of men that they date, and men do the same thing. They have certain women that they don't. So don't be offended by that. Just
yeah,
take it as what it is. Just be grateful and take it as a favor that they did you, because you know they don't have no interest in you. You have no interest in them.
yeah. Straight up, straight like that. Like women say, "Oh, I like dudes who tall. I'm average height. I can't get mad about that." Okay, baby,
I
go
can't
ahead.
change it, man.
I can't change that. I can't change anything about that. I'm gonna go ahead and go about my business. I'm not gonna start a coalition for short dudes. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing body positivity. Because you don't want to date a big dude. Like, well, why, no, dude? I don't care. I'm gonna move on and deal with people who want to deal with me. But
Yeah,
that's another part of toxicity too, Brian, is that people not accepting people's standards too. I mean,
yeah. Ooh.
men men every now and then you'll have men cry about women's standards today. Oh, they want to do 6 foot tall, six figures, 6 car garage, 600 horsepower car, all the 6 6s, all that stuff. You'll have those men that cry and whine about it, but for the most part, dudes know, like, hey, okay, this is how the game is played. You got two options. Either you figure out how the best way to play the game for yourself, or you don't play the game. That's it.
Mhm. Exactly. It's one way or the other, man. And I think that's a huge thing in society, man. Because even me, right? Even being like in church and ministry and all that stuff, right? I have an understanding. I have my own personal beliefs, right? But at the
Yeah,
same time, I don't condemn people for having theirs. And
yeah,
that's why, to be honest with you, most of these conversation stuff don't even bother me, man. Because it's like, if you don't want so and so and so, or you don't believe in this, I respect your opinion. But at the same time, don't force stuff on me that I don't want to append to. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
when they start to say, yes, you should do this, you should accept this, you should have this. That's when I get offended.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then Lisa Reed said it better. Yes, but are those women bringing those same qualities to the table? Yes. And this is the thing. And Kevin Samuels, he's a polarizing figure, very controversial. You either love him or you hate him. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really seem to be any in between. But I like some of the things he said. I don't agree with him 100%, because his narrative on marriage and how he pushes marriage. Yeah, I got this cool. Today is not the day. Marrying people up, it's going to be a very hard thing to do because of the laws. So I don't think really men, especially young men, should get married because of the laws. Wait till you over. Don't even contemplate marriage till you over 35. Yeah, don't even contemplate it.
Man, I'm of the belief you shouldn't. I personally don't think, because we grew up in society where it's like you can't be, if you're over 25, you never been married. Like people automatically assume something is wrong with you. But the reality of it is, like most men, I don't even think they should consider that stuff until like mid to late 20s, man. Like late 20s. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where you start, because the reality of it is you're not even established. Most men don't even get established until that point, man.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Even
Um,
the progress and
no,
stuff that I made, like I'm still like on the uphill. I still got a long way to go, man. And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
even though marriage is something that I always wanted to some extent, just for personal reasons or whatever, I realized that the responsibility that comes with that, and then like the obligations and stuff that you have to have, man, you don't be ready for that stuff.
Oh
You
no,
don't even have the
no.
maturity to deal with that, man.
No,
You
I
just
remember what I was
don't.
going to say. My brother calling me messed up my thought process. But what I was saying, what Kevin Samuels says is that he said, I'm not here to judge you on what you want. He say, I'm here to figure out what is your chances of getting what you
Yeah,
want, and what are you doing to get what you want. Yeah. See, Lisa Reese say men's frontal lobe isn't fully developed until their early
exactly.
20s. Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's
yeah.
why no man should get married. I
Hey, and
believe
it's
before
not
the
even
age of
it's
27, 28, man.
and I will argue this, Brian. It's this is it's important for him to get age and for his mind to develop and maturity to develop. But one of the things I think is even more important than that is that decline in testosterone you get post 30. So you're 25, right?
20, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds
yeah, yeah.
young on here, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Right. Hey, when I found out how old you was, I was shocked because I thought you were around my
Man,
age.
look here,
Because
man.
I'm 33, so I thought you was around my age, man. So I was like 25, bright young man. See, I got to remember his name, and I never forgot your name after that day. But what you want to do as a young man, well, not what you want to do, but as a young man, once you get post 30, then that testosterone you start to lose testosterone slowly as you age as a man. And once you start to lose that testosterone, you come out of that haze that men are in, that haze where procreating is just that's where it's at. That's all you want to do. The men when the guy is stuck in that phase, that situation right there, and when he's still like that, it's hard to trust him because you know him and I know him, Brian. It's dudes right now will throw you smooth under the bus for a mediocre woman. Hey, this ain't Holly Berry. This not Rihanna. This isn't Beyonce. Nah, man. This is the girl that work at the 7-Eleven, plain Jane ironing board, and he's ready to throw you under the bus for this. Like that's why young men can't be trusted all the time. That's why older men, more established men who are married are seen as more stable because as a young man, you're not being led by the right things. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
man, you're not even thinking objectively. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Because it's like
Mm-mm.
what, and that's the thing too. Like when it just comes with being young, you just don't understand just how impactful the decisions that you make, man. Like getting involved with certain people, get involved with certain situations, dating certain women. Don't do that, Lisa. Don't do that.
Yes, that's wow, baby face.
Like that
Yeah.
stuff, whatever, and the even the cap off of that. That's why many people think I'm mature, man. That's why most people think I'm in my early 30s, man, because I don't make decisions that the average 25-year-old would make.
And it's how you carry yourself as well, man. It's how you carry yourself. You carry yourself like a much older gentleman. You know, you have a more of a older soul. And I saw that quickly because people say that about me. It's like, man, my mom, they call me an old man. You know, it just is what it is. You know, but yeah, this and men in your youth, man, don't focus on the toxicity. Don't
No.
focus on, the clout chasing or anything like that. Focus on building yourself up. They say, oh, we 38 in. Okay, so let's get final thoughts. Let's wrap this up. Let's get these final thoughts in. So what's your final thoughts, B-boy?
Man, final thoughts, man. Pretty much like you saying, just to go off of that, and more than anything, man, just get to know who you are. Like that's, bro, I'm telling you, that's something that's not expressed enough. That's something
Yeah,
that's not expressed enough, especially for young black men, man. Understand who you are, what you like, what you don't like, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you truly want out of this life.
yeah,
Everything, like have that stuff written down on paper, remember it, memorize it, do whatever it is that you got to do, and do not stray away from that thing
yeah. Oh yeah,
because you're gonna get moved, you're gonna get pushed, you're gonna get swayed, and when you get swayed, man, the world and everything else will dictate to you and control you and have you going in circles.
yeah.
And that's really where this toxicity stuff come from, man, because the reality of it is that when you know who you are and you see everything else and it appears to look good, then you think in turn there's something wrong with you and you have to change in order to get the same opportunities everyone else appears to have. But that's not the reality.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
stick to that, you know what I'm saying? You may have like a struggle, but eventually you go get to where you want to be. all the opportunities that you was looking for, that you've been working for, they're gonna happen. They just don't, like you said earlier in the episode, just don't happen overnight.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
that's all I got to say, man.
Oh man, yeah, that's it, man. That is it. Yeah, people. You know, if you watch me, you've heard me say it before. Hey, you can't want hot pocket instructions and the meal requires you to put it in the oven, man. It's just not, that's not how it works. You can't microwave, you can't speed it up, you can't shortcut it. No, you have to put in the work, man. You have to put in the work. And it starts with, like Brian said, finding out who you are, you know, finding out who you are, likes, dislikes, wants, needs, and building yourself into the best version of yourself, of course, because of course that alarm goes off right when I'm on live. Anyway, if you hear that, just excuse that. We're gonna finish this up anyway. But being a masculine man, because any man can be that. You know, they always talk about alpha and betas and sigmas and gamma males and all that other stuff and all of those designations. But every man can be a masculine man, stand up for his beliefs, man. Every man can do that. And that's the thing. And toxicity looks like it brings better results on the surface, but what brings you the best results is knowing who you are and saying no, and not accepting the things you don't want to accept. And when you are who you are, when you're truly who you are your authentic self, you'll attract the people you need to attract. And when you put on the front, when you put on the fake, you're gonna attract the wrong people, dog. It's just what it is, man. Be yourself, dog. Be yourself,
100%, bro. I got so many stories, man. You be surprised. You be surprised, man.
Oh, dude, too. I lived that life, man. I was talking yesterday. I said these guys, you got people who think that, you know, because certain things happen that they the man, they this and they that. I said, dude, I used to be in Washington Heights all the time. And I said I would go in there, going to see a girl. And Washington Heights is not the safest place to be. It's a lot of, lot of real dudes out there who do real bad things, man. It's just what it is. But I didn't care. I was out there going to see a girl. But nobody bothered me while I was out there because it's a few people there who knew me. And they knew what I was about. They knew what I stood for. So collectively, as a whole, nobody bothered me while I was there because of the people that I knew. I didn't take that as nobody bothered me. It's like, oh, I'm that dude. I can go anywhere. I'm bulletproof. I'm invisible. Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whip and work, hallelujah. Like that's me. No, dude. No, come on, man. No. You know, you're not that guy. I knew I wasn't that guy. No. Look, man, it was all luck. But man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, man, Brian Boyd, tell them where they can find you on all your social medias and your podcasts.
Man, appreciate it. So y'all can find me on Facebook, Brian Boyd, you know, whatever, IG as well. And then, of course, I got a podcast, man. It's called The Grounded Podcast. Y'all check it out. Real life topics from a biblical perspective. So I talk anything about leadership, business, relationships, situationships, entanglements, you know, all that
stuff. Yeah, I got to come on there, man. So, hey, 2022, man, that's the goal. Hey, I got to get on the Grounded Podcast with you, my brother.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As y'all can see, it's Roll Tide over here. We about to stomp a mud hole in Cincinnati in about a few minutes.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Hey, man, I'm about to get into it, man. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow with the sports show. Me and Mr. Reed, I think we're going to go about 7 p. We're going to talk about the Jaguars coaching search. We're going to talk about LeBron James and all his greatness at 37. So, here go Lisa Reed right here. She say, "Go Bama." Hey, I appreciate that. Go Bama. Go Bama. You know, so we're gonna talk about Jaguars dumpster fire, of course. We're gonna talk about the NBA. You know, we're gonna talk it all tomorrow, man. So tune in for that. You know, Mr. Reed got the real spiel, and he gonna have some details on this coaching search because he's been writing an article on it and writing stories about it. So tune in for that, people. But until next time, my lovely people, I will talk to y'all later, man. We are out of here, man.
Peace, y'all.